Welcome to Achievement Hunting 101 Summer School Edition, where we don't have a panel, but we've still got some extra content segments for your listening pleasure. I am Koosh Moose, and this is level 314. Before we get to our extra content, we have August targets. They've been announced, so we'll run through them really quickly. First up, we have Beam Dive Recovery, unlocking an achievement in 3+ different games started before this month. Bronze, you need 3 games. Silver, 6 games. And gold, you need 9 games. Next up, we have August Almost Alliteration. Earn 5 achievements where the first character in the achievement name and the game name match. Bronze for 5 achievements, silver for 10, and gold is 15 achievements. And finally, we have In a Galaxy Far, Far Away. Earn 5+ achievements with the word star or war in the achievement or game name. Bronze 5 achievements, silver 10 achievements, and gold 15 achievements. You have all month to knock that out. Don't wait till the very end. No reason I would not have done that myself, ever. Next week, Freemhole and I will be discussing the Game Passable news, because I assume we'll have Game Pass information and we'll also have our predictions for 2 months out. So look for that next week. Tonight, however, we have Elroy and Exe the Hero bringing you the 4th episode of After Party. Enjoy!
Welcome everyone to the AH101 After Party. Here we discuss any and all things that have to do with the Chivo life that chose us. I am Elroy OMJ and he is Exe the Hero, and this week he wants to discuss...
Am I just supposed to fill in the blank? Am
Yeah,
I supposed to
sure.
say
I
hi?
mean, I don't know.
Okay, well,
Pleasantries. I
hi.
mean, we can have some
Pleasantries aside, this week I would like to discuss graphics versus performance mode. I know it's a topic that's sort of been addressed in some capacity at some point in many different ways, but I just want to set the record straight on my thoughts with this setting. So, graphics mode would be 4K, 30 FPS, and then performance mode is 1080p or maybe like a 1440p or somewhere in the middle, and then 60 FPS. And there's sort of this big debate on, the frames per second and, what makes a good video game. And I just want to let the world know that I pick graphics mode every single time if it's available 100% of the time if my game has this option. I will pick the graphics mode. Give me that 4K resolution. Give me ray tracing. Give me increased draw distance. Give me more shrubs on the ground. Give me bigger pixel density. I want my games to look freaking as beautiful as possible. What? I hear you laughing over there. What's your thoughts on this before I keep going?
I didn't know that this was a standard setting. I
That's true. What am I saying? You've never
never
played a game that
I
often.
never go into the options to look for graphics. I just go to look to see if there's any cheats or assists or anything that you can enable, and then maybe to change the difficulty if there's no difficulty specific achievements. But as far as graphics, unless it's, oh man, the only thing I mess with the graphics on is like I loathe dark games that where I can't see where the hell I'm going.
Yes,
And so
absolutely.
I don't care what it does to the view of it. I pump that up to where it's like sunny and where I can see. I max that out, where they have the little thing like adjust this so you can barely see this logo. I go all the way to the right and,
Yeah.
and I'm
Barely
just like,
see or see crystal
it's
clear?
like
What are you talking
burning
about?
into my eyes. I'm like, well, I might have a chance now. So, but no, as far as like the what you're talking about, no, I'm that's very rarely available on any games I play. So yes.
That's true. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Alright. So, well, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it then for you and anyone else who doesn't know is, the new AAA games, do you want performance mode or graphics mode, right? I'm not gonna repeat my whole spiel, but that's what it boils down to. Do you want 60 FPS is the appeal, or do you want, the appeal of performance mode, or do you want just the game to look pretty? And I kind of have a reputation as the fighting game guy in our Discord, and I will readily acknowledge that for certain games, yeah, you want 60 FPS, or even some of them are in 120 FPS now, which is pretty cool if the game supports it and your TV supports it. Um, that's a cool feature. So fighting games, yeah, definitely give me 60 FPS in fighting games. Those extra frames, they do make a difference, absolutely.
Like
When
in
it comes
the
down to
to
what?
in like your performance of the game, you can actually like it helps you in the game. Is that
Oh yeah,
kind
absolutely. Once you get super intensely into some of the fighting games,
of?
everything is done in frames, and it's the frame advantage basically is what it's called. So if I have a kick that takes 12 frames before it hits you, and you have a punch that is 11 frames before it hits me, in a 30 FPS mode, they might hit each other and cancel out like a clash. But with 60 FPS, that one frame makes a difference and your punch will hit me quicker, is
Wow.
sort of the easiest summary there. So yeah, it definitely in
I've
games
never
like
even
that.
thought about that, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah. Yeah, in games like that, it definitely is
I
a
mean,
huge advantage.
but you have to be pretty quick reaction time now. I
Oh
am
yeah,
the
we're talking
uh,
competing at like the top level where,
I'm a bit
a
seasoned in
60th
my
second matters.
my reaction time isn't what it used to be hypothetically, so I'm not sure that that would benefit me in any feasible way, but I could see where somebody would be very frustrated if like their system did not support that and they were running. So if you're running at a lower frame rate and you're playing against someone at a higher frame rate and it looks like, like sometimes that works because you don't realize that you're going to against all right, so you're going up against somebody that has a 60 frames per second, and you do the same move, but they hit you. Whereas, just like the last match, you played against someone that had 30 frames per second, and you did that same move, and it, didn't hit you, kind of thing. Like the same.
I
Is
see what
it?
you're saying.
Is it
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. If you're playing local, obviously you're going to be on the same setting on the same screen.
right?
But I don't know, actually. I'm thinking Killer Instinct for whatever reason is the first one. If we play Killer Instinct online, and does that one have an FPS setting? I'm going to be honest. I love fight
Ye-
KI, but I haven't played it in a while. Um,
Seems like that should be standardized if you're doing any kind of network play,
that's what I'm
but
thinking. Like in theory, if we were playing online and we both did input lag aside an
Mhm.
11 frame attack, the 60 FPS would actually land quicker than the 30 FPS because theirs would round up to 12, but then it's the exact same attack. So I think it I don't know. That's an interesting conundrum you just raised.
I'm just pleased that you understood what I was trying to say there. I
Yeah,
felt
I got you. I got
so.
you.
But no, I think the closest I get to something like that is on my laptop. I'll always go in and just put the graphics at whatever the minimum is or second to minimum so that it runs more smoothly. But
Mm,
so I'm kind of like the opposite. I'm trying to make it where the game doesn't lag at all. So unless I'm on my awesome gaming computer, which is really nice, and I don't have to down, downplay anything on it, but laptops definitely. So, um, but yeah, this is something that just I don't know. It's kind of like the headsets for me again. It's just not for me.
all right. All
But
right.
I'm not your normal gamer, I guess.
Right. So this was inspired. I'm sort of jumping ahead a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
This was inspired. I was talking to my brother, and it's a PlayStation game, but that's irrelevant. It had a 120 FPS mode or a standard mode or a fidelity mode, make it look pretty. So make it look pretty, of course,
Mhm.
100% of the time I choose that. Outside of fighting games, right? And I was talking to my brother, was like, this game looks freaking amazing. I'm surprised it has a 120 option because it doesn't seem like a game that would need 120. It's Ratchet and Clank, if anyone cares. Not exactly a pixel demanding or a pixel, an input frame demanding game. And then my brother said, "Well, I did it on 120 just because it was my first 120 FPS game, and I played it on the maximum difficulty. And he's like, I'm curious how much those extra frames actually helped because now we're talking double. Now it's 120. So he has 4 times the wiggle room to dodge an attack or something like that instead of twice.
Mm.
So that's what inspired this. Like, huh, would it make that subtle of a difference even in a game where you don't necessarily otherwise benefit from the extra frames? So there's definitely perks to it, and I see that. I know for shooters like online shooters, the 60 FPS, you need that because that's the difference between, a headshot and missing when
Mhm.
someone's running. That 1 frame makes a difference. So I get that, but I just feel like it's such a weird gamer debate right now. Like every game should be 4K 60. Like that would be cool if every game was 4K 60, but like does Possum Kingdom that Elroy is playing 7 stacks of, does that need 60 frames per second? Even like Assassin's Creed. Does Assassin's Creed need 60 frames per second? Like it's not benefiting you that much. Or, Forza, does a racing game? Like if you're making a turn and 1 extra frame in a second is going to make or break your racing, then like that doesn't seem practical. So that's where I'm at. Like, not every game needs 60 FPS, and it just seems like a weird debate. I'm not grasping this one. Like, I totally get the hardware. The most powerful console. I guess 4K 60 should be the standard, but it's not like there's people like, oh, it's only 30 FPS. I guess they don't get my money. Like, that's so weird to me. Like, the game doesn't need it. Just play your game and enjoy it. Crank graphics up, make it look pretty. D you know, you bought a nice TV so that games look pretty. Just enjoy it. Just
Yeah,
play. So that's where I'm at. Graphics mode 100% of the time,
I'm
unless
guess
it's a fighting game.
I guess I'm at the I live a sheltered life, and I'm sheltered from this debate that I had no idea was going on. It seems to me like if you were playing at that, and if that one little frame made that much difference, that you would play the game long enough that you would know that you would need to start your turn that much. I mean, you'll adjust in how the game is being played, and so you'll instead of that one really sharp turn, you'll just start it that much sooner in order to make the turn. I guess people will
And
adapt.
we're not even talking like a big noticeable, like you have to start the turn noticeably quick. We're talking about 30 blips in 1 second versus 60
That's
blips in 1 second. You can't even comprehend that.
yeah, I maybe the argument should be that we should all aspire to be the kind of gamer that it has that much precision in their game, but
Right?
I am not that person, so I just make do with what I got.
You know,
So,
apparently I'm not that person either. So I do see it again. Shooters, fighting games, of
mhm.
course. But like a platformer? Like Ori and the Will of the Wisp had a 120 FPS mode. I c- I don't know. Am I playing my platformers wrong? The extra frames aren't making or breaking my performance in the game for me.
Some
So
extra frames on your death sequence that you're missing on Ori there, you know,
right,
as you
exactly.
as you fall into the thorns yet
Exactly.
again.
I don't get it. I don't get it. So there we go.
Alright. Well, okay. Well, I have something I'd like to talk about. It is not a Mount Rushmore this time. I'm gonna spare you. But, what I would like to discuss is what I feel is an amazing achievement. Now, just for the thought exercise that this is, I will tease what it is. So here you go. So to start formulating in your brain which one I'm talking about here. So the achievement's very easy, so that doesn't narrow it down. It has been unlocked by 99.94% of its tracked gamers on TA. Thus, it has a 1.00 ratio. This achievement has been unlocked by 38 of my friends on TA. I don't have that many friends, but 38 of them have this, and you were actually third my third friend to unlock it. So congrats to you.
Okay.
Uh,
Top
now,
3.
indeed, you'd be on the Mount Rushmore. This this achievement is the sole reason that the overall title is ranked highly on that crappy rating system on TA that exists. In fact, it has a 4.7 rating. And keep in mind that only 6 games on TA have a 4.8. So it's rated very highly on that crappy system. All right. This achievement is worth 0 gamer score. Is that cryptic enough?
Yeah, there's a lot a lot there that's not adding up. Elroy played a game rated 4.7.
Yeah, yeah. And
There's not that many 0 pointers
yeah.
that you
And
presumably unlock right at the beginning.
okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
I'm not gonna cheat on this one. I have no
So
clue.
so the sleight of hand that I used on you is that I said title. Now, this is actually just an app. And I am referring
Uh,
to
alright.
the day 1 achievement on the Xbox One app. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, here's what this is. So, basically, way
That's
back
a
in
good
the
one.
so way back when, there was this exciting day where the day 1 edition of the Xbox came out. Wow. It was like 2013, I believe, and
November 13th?
something like that, yeah, 2013. Now, I was, on that because of, Dead Rising 3, I was ready for it, so that was the only reason I had mine pre-ordered ready to go, and so, you get your console, you open it up, and it's amazing, it says day 1 edition on it, and you open it up, and then there's this nice big, block that's, huge now, and there's a controller that says day 1 edition on it, and then if you look a little deeper into the box, there's this little black card that has like an Xbox logo on the front and it just says Xbox. And then you open it and it says, the words at the top says, "Thank you for being part of day 1." And then in littler print, it says, "You are one of the first to experience a new generation of entertainment. To commemorate the moment, we've created an exclusive day 1 achievement for you. Welcome to Xbox One." I mean, that just gives you chills, right? I mean, that's good. And so and then on that sheet, there's a code. And so then you go punch in the code, redeem a code, you punch in the code, and then an achievement unlocks. And it says day 1. And then the description for the achievement is, "You are one of the first to experience a new generation of entertainment. Welcome to Xbox One." So a little more, concise. And so this achievement, it's the app, it's an app, and it's Xbox One's the name of the app, and it's actually really got some nice artwork on the game. It just says day 1 on one side and has the little Xbox logo on the other side, and then the achievement has day 1 on one. That's basically what it just looks like, the artwork anyway. But that's not what I want to talk about, the artwork. But I bring this up because I think that this is like an epic idea that I miss, actually. That now it wouldn't be so epic if they just abused the hell out of this and then they had like this for everything. Like, you know how it is. They're gonna run everything. So like every special edition, you get a little card that has like its own little achievement or something like that. No, no, keep it special. Like where you have, I think, a new console launch. Like did you get the Project Scorpio Xbox S thing?
I
Did you?
did indeed, and genuinely, I was very disappointed that I
I
didn't
was
have a day
too.
1 achievement card.
Yes, and you got the controller. It said, Project Scorpio on it, and that was it. There was nothing else to it. And then that was only, at least you got the controller. And then the huge letdown. Well, you didn't get anything for the next series, and they just
I was
kind
just
of,
gonna say, I was also
yeah,
equally disappointed when there was
right,
not even the achievement, just
nothing.
the Xbox One had the day 1 edition. When
Yeah.
the Xbox One S came out, they had a launch edition with a 2 terabyte hard drive. I got
Mm-hmm.
that. And then the Xbox One X had the Scorpio edition, and then
Yeah.
the series nothing. I
Yeah.
was so disappointed.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it's nothing. It's just crazy. Like there's no incentive to, early adoption or anything like that. And so it's just, I don't know, at least they could bring it back for something. I mean, I don't know. But the reason So I miss it for that, and I miss, or I wanted to talk about it because I want to, because Xbox, listens to our podcast, and so hopefully they'll hear us, because they listen weekly
Hi,
and everything.
Phil.
Yeah. So anyhow, but this achievement has been discontinued, as you might suspect, and I think it's really fascinating because it's kind of turned into some bizarre like status symbol on TA, and so people are still talking about it. Like the last unlock for this was September 25th, 2016. And yet, if you click on the achievement, there's like a guide, and the guide basically says, well, there's a sheet of paper, and then you just punch in the code, and then you get the achievement, and voila, congrats. And so there's a lot of discussion on it, however. And so it it was the last comment on that guide was in January of 2024. So this is not long ago, and it was basically someone bemoaning that they don't have it. And so it's funny to me. It's funny to me to like if you just click on like all the comments. There's 81 comments on this solution. 81 comments, and if you read it, it's really funny to me. I mean, I think it's funny. So basically, it starts with a bunch of people talking about, oh, this sucks because they're running the industry. How could you get an achievement for buying an Xbox? There shouldn't be an achievement for just paying money. And so there was no shortages of high horses, if you will, that people rode in on. And now I must say that they were either mares or stallions. I'm not sure. We know the difference now. Stallions being the males and mares being the females. Sorry about that last episode. But anyhow, they were
Nice
all
callback.
yeah, they were all up in arms and oh, high and mighty on this. And then somebody started floating. Well, you can buy one for $20 on eBay, and so people were like, oh, and then you fast forward a little bit further down, you get the perspective of time here. And then in 2015, they started saying, well, you can get a code for $40 on eBay. And then, and approximately 2016-ish, the worm turned, and then people started getting a little frantic, and they're like, does this still unlock? Does this still unlock? Where do I get a code at? Where do I get a code? And then like, in October, someone's like, yeah, I bought a code, I put it in, and nothing happened. And so it looks like at the end of September, maybe ish, it became defunct. And so now if you look anything past like 2016, it's just sadness has set in, and everybody realizes it's gone forever. Everyone is like, man, this was such a cool idea, and man, I missed this. Oh, I'm so bummed I didn't get it. But it's funny to me that the perspective changed. Like it went full circle. Like 2013, everyone was just like, it shucks. And now everyone's just like, dang, I wish I had it and all this. But in any case, if you're interested in it, if you're interested in buying a code to unlock it, as one user described, it doesn't register, as they put it. It just disappears into the ether. so, so, yeah, it just like it says it unlocks, but there's no documentation on your account. Like it's like it didn't even happen. You can buy a code, and I think it even shows that it unlocks, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's kind of weird. You can read through the comments and see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's if you still want one as a collectible, you can still get them on eBay. Would you like to guess how much they cost on eBay right now?
For a
Just a sheet of paper
used or unused one? Not that
unused
it
one. I'm
matters.
sorry. Yes, an unused
An
one.
unused one? I don't know. $80.
You're close. They going for there's two available right now on eBay. One is in Australia and goes for 165 Aussie bucks,
Oh my god.
which is 110 Federal Reserve notes. But and actually, I thought this was interesting. It had at the top 6 viewed in the last 24 hours. Like, who are these people going and thinking about
Who is
this?
looking for this
Right,
right
who's
now?
looking at this right now? I mean, it's literally just a sheet of paper that opens up and has a code in it. And I mean, it's cool as hell. Don't get me wrong, right? But I don't even know if it opens. It may just flip over. I don't know.
I think it was just a card. Yeah, you flip it.
Yeah. So, and then the other one they bundled with a brand new day one controller. So it's a brand new day one edition controller and the sheet of paper, and they want $500.
Ooh.
So I'm just like, I don't know. So anyhow, that's just basically, I just found it very humorous. I just kind of stumbled upon it and remembered that achievement. And a little sidebar, my brother, he bought a day one edition, and then he quickly turned into a PlayStation guy. And so he actually gave me his day one edition Xbox. And so when I was came up with this, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if he has that." And so he's gonna look and see. He may have. I think he still has the box that it came in. He doesn't throw away
Oh,
anything, so I think he still has the box. So it's probably still sitting in the box, and he's gonna give it to me if he has it. So, and I'll probably frame it and put it on the wall or something.
that's cool.
I think I still got mine, so I could frame the front and the back and put it in a
Ooh,
frame.
there you go.
Yeah, hang it on the wall.
You got me thinking. I am confident that I threw mine out. I redeemed it.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I pulled up on TA. I am the first one on my friends list to
Nice.
have redeemed it at 1:15 in the morning on launch day.
Nice.
So I'm thinking I was there for the midnight launch. I was like 12th or 13th in line.
Mm,
So I probably got my console at 12:30. I probably got home at 12:45, set that bad boy right up. It probably had some kind of update, right?
mhm.
So we'll call that 1:05. So within 10-15 minutes of welcome to Xbox One, within 10-15 minutes I entered this day one achievement code. So
Nice.
I'm kind of proud of myself for that quick
Yeah, like,
turnaround there.
where are you at on the overall list? I was just curious. I'm sure it's all a bunch
Ooh,
of
overall, let me
European. I assume they got it, first crack at it, and so I'm just
well,
curious
there's
for you.
people that redeemed it
Yeah.
before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the first 100 redeemed it with early access, so that's not fair.
Yeah.
First 200 early access,
So,
first 300 early ac
well,
yeah, I'm not gonna keep going.
yeah, well, in fairness, there's 83,000 people on TA that have it. So, yeah, but that percentage obviously is just going to keep going down of total users as, it grows and everything. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So
But,
just a
yeah,
cool
I'm
thing to
confident
have.
I threw mine out. I don't
All
think
right.
that's something I would've held on to.
I'm gonna
The
look,
first 600 had early access.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I have mine. I'll post a meaningless update on this at a later point, but I want to see if I have mine. I think I still have my box somewhere, so I don't know. I haven't looked, but yeah.
Still clear the first 1,100 have early access. By the way, for early access, I'm probably referring to Europe and Asia
Hmm.
here, right? But for me, no, damn it, that's early access. They cheated. They cheated.
Oh well, be curious. Like, yeah, in the U.S., I wonder what number you were, but
Yeah, I'm gonna keep scrolling and
I
find out.
wouldn't have a
I'll let you
clue.
know.
I wouldn't have a clue how to even look at that. Like, just limit it to US, and but yeah. So anyhow, so that's it. That's all I wanted to really talk about was this mysterious, day one achievement, and how people actually want it now. How they changed their minds. So yeah, it'd be nice to see it come back. So again, Phil,
All right.
let us know. So
And a quick sidebar, not
uh
to get into discussion, but you're talking about, quote unquote useless achievements and things
mhm.
like that. When Windows 8 or 10, now I actually don't remember which one it was. One of the early promo images for Windows 8 or 10 actually had an achievement in the bottom right corner for Microsoft Office.
Oh, nice.
So people were talking like, "Are you gonna get, like, achievements for you typed 5,000 words," or, like, "You
No.
typed 60 words a minute." Like, are we really doing achievements for this now? And it obviously never took off.
You
Maybe I
know?
don't know, was it because of that one clip with the achievement pop-up? But, like, that was that, but, yeah,
Huh.
somewhere that picture still exists. I'll try and track it down for you.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah, I know there's a couple others. I saw a couple others on TA where there was one for like the launch of the Connect, and then there's like Xbox Team ones, like you were a part of this
mhm,
and all this, and I don't know. But they were not as widespread in popularity, obviously, because they were very limited now.
right.
But the other one was just plentiful enough that it took hold and kind of became a thing. So Yeah, I may have to post something on this guy just to refresh it. Make it 82 comments, and yeah, yeah, and then yeah. Anyway, I could talk on it for a while, but you get the idea. But in honor of that Xbox One achievement talk, I wanted to tell you the top 3 best named Xbox games that start with the word one. Number 3, One Dog Story. Number 2, One-Eyed Lee and the Dinner Party. Number 1, One Chanbara, Bikini Samurai Squad.
That one's kind of cheating because it's One Chambara, but I guess it does start with one, right? So I don't know. Well, that's interesting because I actually, for once, everyone knows I'm going to do a top three, so it's not like a surprise. I made mine actually relevant
Oh,
to the discussion,
there you
and you
go.
actually kind of stole some of it earlier without
Nice.
realizing, so I had to keep my mouth shut. But anyway, top three first things that I change in the settings menu as soon as I start up a game. Number 3, add subtitles. Number 2, difficulty down. Number 1, crank up the brightness.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen, amen. Oh gosh, it drives me crazy. So there you go. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming to the after party. Let us know what you think in the usual spots, and hit us up if you have any ideas for us to kick around, or if you have any spare achievement day one codes to share. Later, guys.